Hi, I'm Luke McIntosh, creator of Become a Bassist, and in this video you're going to learn all about technical mistake number 2 that bass players make. Now, mistake number 2 is having unnatural angles in your body. Now, we talked about this a little bit in the introductory lesson, but this lesson we're going to go deep down and find exactly where the most common places it happens and what to do about it, how to fix them. So we've already talked about the natural positioning principle and how our bodies need to mimic the way that they naturally are, their natural state. And we talked a little bit about the two most common places, the wrist and the back. So first of all, let's talk about the back. Now, just because we play an instrument called the upright bass doesn't mean that our bass has to remain completely vertical, completely upright all the time. Now, this is a mistake that a lot of beginning bass players make, and even some advanced players make the mistake too. Now, this means that you, instead of the bass standing up straight, you stand up straight like a tree and lean the bass into you. Now, you want to avoid keeping the bass vertical and you leaning into it. Now, this puts an unnatural angle in your back, and it can cause a lot of pain and a lot of stress when you play. It can also really affect your sound, which is definitely not something you want. Remember, you play the bass, don't let the bass play you. Possibly the more damaging mistake to make, though, is having unnatural angles in the wrist. Now, one thing I see a lot of bass players doing is playing in this position right here. Now, this might seem fine from this angle right here, but look at what happens when I take my arm away. Have a look at the angle here. That is definitely not a natural angle. Even that kind of hurts a little bit, actually. But you want to have your wrist completely straight, as if it were hanging down by your side. That means none of this kind of motion. The human hand wasn't really meant to make too much of this kind of motion. So how do you fix this? This is the next question. So instead of having your wrist down here and creating this unnatural angle in there, just simply raise the elbow up. Now check out what that does to this angle right here. It straightens it right out, and just by bringing the elbow up. It's a very, very simple fix, but incredibly effective. Now, this ties into the painted room concept and allowing the big muscles to do the work. See, if your elbow's down like this and you have this kind of angle, you're cutting off basically the hand from all the other muscles in the arm and the shoulder, these muscles in here and in your back and in your sides. Definitely bad news, but straightening up this allows all the force from here to be transferred directly into your bass. It means you can have a great big sound with a lot less effort as well. Now, making this one small change of raising the elbow can do a lot of things for you. It takes care of a lot of potential injury, which is always good. You never want to be playing injured or playing in a way that causes you to be injured. The other thing it'll do is it'll, like I said, free up all these muscles in here to do a lot of the work, which means you'll be able to play for a lot longer. You'll be able to have a lot more stamina. For example, if you're having endurance problems, not being able to play for a long amount of time, see if raising the elbow will help. I guarantee you'll see an improvement in the amount of time you can play without getting tired. Now, if you don't normally play in this position with the elbow up, it might feel a little bit strange, and you will be working these muscles in here, and that's exactly what you want. If you feel these muscles starting to kind of work a little bit more, starting to feel a little bit of a tingle in there, that's perfect. You definitely want to have these muscles working a lot more than these muscles, which is what you're doing when you drop the elbow. Now, you might have to work on making this position with the elbow up. You might have to work on it consciously in order for it to become automatic, and that's totally fine. That's exactly what you want. You'll find that when this does become automatic, it'll open up a whole lot of doors for you. So to recap, mistake number 2 is having unnatural angles in the body. We learned that the two main problem areas are, first of all, the back and the wrist. We learned that if you had a bend in your back, you can put the bass a little bit far away from you, make it a little bit further away, and lean the bass into you. And this is the whole kind of you play the bass, don't let the bass play you philosophy. And also we talked about the wrist and having an unnatural angle in there, and the easy fix in that case is to raise the elbow. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Stay tuned for technical mistake number 3 that bass players make. It's not too far behind. Once again, I'm Luke McIntosh, creator of BecomeABassist.com, and I'll see you in the next lesson.